Hello, it's Davy Mooney coming to you from the University of North Texas, where I run the jazz guitar program. Benedetto artist, Sunnyside Records artist, got my CD Live at National Sawdust and some other ones on that label. Improv book, Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary from Mel Bay, and I'm hard at work on another one right now about a position playing on guitar. And I want to talk to you today about a great Dizzy Gillespie tune called Con Alma. And really cool tune, really harmonically sophisticated, interesting song. And I learned this song, I guess, relatively recently in terms of really having it under my fingers and able to play it on gigs. I had sort of played it on sessions and random settings before that. But I really like the version on Dizzy Gillespie album Duets, where he has Sonny Stitt and Sonny Rollins, Ray Bryant, who else? Charlie Persip on drums. I forget who's on bass. I'll have to look it up. And it's a really cool, really interesting version with some elements that you don't hear when people play it in jam sessions and on gigs. And another great version, it's been recorded a million times, but another great version is Stan Getz' record Sweet Rain, where you've got Chick Corea and Ron Carter and Grady Tate, I believe, on drums. And that version, I think, is a little closer to the way it gets played when people play it out in the world. But just to talk a little bit about that Dizzy version, what makes it so interesting is it starts off, the tune, the first chord of when the melody starts of the song is E major. And that's how Stan Getz starts, with a little drum intro, and then right on the E major. But Dizzy, he has this thing where he goes from a C9 to a D flat 9 at the beginning, this little vamp. 8 bars or whatever. And then they go to the E from there, which is interesting. Nobody else really does that. And then the other thing that's kind of interesting, after the melody, they have another little section where they go to a C7, a G flat major 7, maybe with a sharp 11 on it, and then an F minor 7, minor major 7 for a couple bars, and then to the E major. And that never comes back. Well, actually, at the very end, they kind of do some aspect of that where they actually end on an F minor major 7. But it's kind of strange. Nobody else really puts that in there. And yeah, it's interesting. But the basic structure of the tune, you have the harmony goes like this. You got an E major 7, then like a G sharp 7 with D sharp in the bass, C sharp minor, B7, B flat 7, E flat, and then a 2-5 to D flat, and it's the same cycle: F7 over C, B flat minor, A flat 7, G7, C, and that's the A section. And it's interesting because it resolves in C, and then goes right back to E. So you have that sort of mediant relationship, right? You don't have a 2-5 back to E. So again, second A, E major 7, G sharp 7 over D sharp, C sharp minor, B7, B13, B flat 7, E flat, quick 2-5 to D flat, B flat, D flat, F7 over C, B flat minor, A flat 7, G7, C. And yeah, I don't know what to really say about how he came up with that. It's kind of funny, like the melody of the tune and the chords seem to me, it's almost like a little bit of All the Things You Are and a little bit of Like Someone in Love, maybe. The chord structure. Lately I spend myself out gay. But then it starts a little bit like that, but then it's kind of, the melody's kind of like All the Things You Are. But yeah, and there's also a cool counter line on the version with Dizzy and Sonny Stitt, where the Dizzy goes, and the other part goes. Kind of fun, little line there. Then the bridge, so you've resolved to C after the second A, then we get like a C minor 7 flat 5. Dizzy loves the minor 6 chord with the 6 in the bass. F7, then F sharp minor 7, B7, E. There's that 2-5 in E that you would think could have been in the A section, as like a first ending to get you back to E, but isn't there. So then you end up in E, and it's very much an E major 7 sharp 11. Then an F minor 7 to B flat. The 2-5 setting you up for, you would think maybe E flat, right? 2-5 and E flat, but no, it goes back to E again. So interesting song. I almost feel like each section, the A makes sense in its sort of self-contained little 8-bar thing, but it doesn't really flow till the next A in the usual way that we expect with jazz tunes, which is basically like 5-1 relationships or 4 minor 1, something where you have dominant and tonic, but instead you get that C major, E major. Sometimes what I'll do, when it gets to the C, sometimes I'll put like a sharp 5 on it, just so you kind of have like that E major sound. Then when you go back to E, it's maybe like an augmented relationship, which I kind of like. Although, what makes this song fun and unique to me is the sort of uncertainty, harmonic uncertainty of that. And especially going out of the bridge, I've played this song with some people where they suggest that maybe we should do the last A in E flat. And I guess that's cool. I mean, it sounds good when you do that, and it almost sort of makes sense, but I feel like it loses the character of what this song is about, which is that kind of unusual thing that it has going on. But yeah, it's a really nice song. And then, in terms of playing over it, kind of follow the chords, And to get from C back to E, another thing too, there's a lot of like common tones, right? What I like to call negative guide tones sometimes, like B and E. If you make it Lydian, it's not that hard to resolve it, You're always, as someone once said, you're always a half step away from the right note, right? So you just kind of make it work and live in the uncertainty, like on the bridge. For me, like that F minor 7, B flat 7 going back to E, I kind of feel like that B flat 7, B flat 13, if you make it kind of a diminished sound, maybe half whole diminished, then again you have a lot of common tones that can get you back to E. In some ways, B flat 7 implies with the diminished flavor implies like an E triad too, right? Like that tritone sub. And it's just that E comes as like a tonic chord. So yeah, it's an interesting song. I enjoy playing it. I do it in my improv class a lot, and I've been playing it on gigs. It's also kind of fun to get a sort of 12/8 Afro-Cuban feel, like the one they do on Sweet Rain, and kind of experiment. For me, that's always kind of interesting, because I don't, that style is obviously a big part of jazz, and Dizzy Gillespie did a lot to bring that into jazz back in the 40s and 50s. But it's interesting to, when I play over that type of groove, to decide how many triplets, how triplety I want to make my playing. Like if it's that groove, kind of exists in that in-between space where it's kind of triplet, and also eighth notes that are kind of triplety but also kind of straight. And that's fun too, to just get in the cracks rhythmically the same way the tune gets in the harmonic cracks. So anyway, I'll play a few choruses on it and explore some of these ideas. So I hope you enjoy it.